Everything about this movie spells shit, yet I put it above these others. It earns points for a few reasons. So, let's review Toxic Shark. Well, let's start with the plot on IMDb. A tropical singles retreat takes a terrifying turn when guests realize a poisonous shark is infesting the surrounding waters. Not only will it rip apart its victims, but it also uses projectile acid to hunt, in and out of the water. And I can verify that. There are several deaths in knee-high water that are completely unrealistic.
Whoa! What's happening?
The shark shoots them with acid, and they're like, it burns, and then it jumps way out of the water and attacks them, landing in not enough water for that shark because it's pretty big. It's like a great white shark size, except it's got this bone that protrudes from its head, and that's where the toxic water comes out of, or acid if you want to call it. And it's also poisoning all the water around them. This movie does have some good scenery, as it does claim to take place in Puerto Rico, so there's a lot of beautiful views. The biggest problem in a shark movie is how do you get the people to go into the water, because that's the only time they're really in danger. And I applaud this movie for having the concept of a singles retreat on this island surrounded by water, and they have all these activities that you gotta go into the water for. They even have another good concept of getting people off the island, but we'll get into that. Well, let's run down the command structure of the island resort. It starts with the owner, Reese, who's his fitness guru, and he's pretty shady, but he's doing all this to bring people there and make money off of it. Now, I'm not going to say any of the writing in this was good, and I'm not going to say a lot of the acting was good, but at least this was one of the characters that committed to the role.
So what are you saying? It's a shark?
I don't know.
We need to evacuate everyone.
Over a shark?
Yes.
Come on. Sharks live in the ocean. They have rights, too. Besides, I can't afford that bad publicity right now.
Look at her, Reese!
She looks fine to me. She's sleeping like a baby.
Michelle Cortez plays Erin, and she's pretty good because she has a lot to do in this, which hides her from a lot of the troubles of this script because what she's saying and doing is actually pretty logical and makes her more of a real person. There's who I like to refer to as the Bradley Cooper lookalike, Jesse, who's a terrible medic, and he pretty much helps everybody get killed on this.
What's up?
Walk with me. Just need to wrap it up. It's still an open wound, maybe some antibiotics.
Oh no, are you even a real doctor?
I'm a medic for a retreat that just had a massive shark attack, okay? I'm a little stressed and a little overwhelmed.
He's the medic.
No, Bobby, it's your turn to give Grandma her stitch bath.
Was that necessary?
Yeah, I think so.
There's about 6 other staff members in this, and 4 of them get killed pretty easily in about knee-high water. But the 2 that really stand out are Liam and Jesse. They're almost hilarious in this. The way they run around as a comedy duo and just the things that happen, I laughed my ass off when she got shot in the leg with a harpoon. I mean, it was great. They really could have been a great comedy duo if the writing was a bit better, but all I saw was just the potential for it. Now, there are a few other leads in this, and one of them is Eden, who went to this resort to get over her ex, but surprisingly runs into him there. She's a marine biologist, and is perfect to study the water and the toxicity levels and maybe figure out what's wrong with them.
Arsenic. These
Therapy magnets?
the ionization of the salt water with these magnets will send out an electromagnetic pulse that will drive the shark crazy.
She's a headache, her friends are headaches, but I kinda do like Audra, and not just because she played the Pink Ranger in one of 30 television spin-offs that I never watched, though I do factor that in. Now, most importantly, Sam, the ex-boyfriend. He has stupid friends too, but he's the one person that actually elevates the script.
Can I get a sip of that?
A singles retreat.
No.
Now, there are people that periodically go into the water and get eaten by the shark unrealistically, and on occasion, the shark doesn't look like complete crap. On occasion. But a lot of people get infected by the water now, and it kind of gives them like rabies, and they're hallucinating and going a bit crazy. And that takes us into a new direction. Now one of Eden's friends gets sick, so Reese decides he's going to put her in the boat, brings Audra with them, and they're going to go to the main island and get some help. Naturally, the boat suffers from mechanical failure, and the shark jumps over and grabs Reese. Another very realistic death. I'll give him that.
Oh shit!
Then he also must have nicked the engine because there's some bad CGI smoke coming from the boat, and it explodes. Somehow Audrey survived and actually swam all the way back to shore, despite the fact that everybody else who went in the water pretty much gets eaten by the shark. But Audrey's sick now, and she's starting to go insane, and left unattended.
Audra? Audra? Audra?
Run! Oh my god, they're all infected!
So fast forward to our last 4 people who got onto a tiny boat and made it out into the middle of the ocean, where the shark pretty much destroys the tiny little boat. They managed to use magnets and sulfur or whatever to actually shoot the shark with the flare gun in the mouth, which causes the shark to jump up in the air about 15 feet, and then you can see the fire in its mouth, and upon re-entering the water it explodes. So our final survivors somehow make it to the mainland and wash up on shore. We got Aaron, we got Eden and Sam. And Eden and Sam are having some terrible conversation about how they should take it slow this time around, because naturally they got to get back together because they survived a traumatic event. And Aaron's pretty much a zombie now, and she's starting to chase after them. And I'm like, what the
Let's just take it slow this time, okay?
Okay.
They made a shark movie and a zombie movie. Both terrible. But I do applaud the fact that they came up with that idea. That's a good way to get them off the island. Zombies. So why am I even telling you about this movie? It's because of that tiny bit of potential it had, which actually elevated it above all those other shit movies like Ghost Shark and etc. That's how bad shark movies have gotten. I mean, you had Jaws, which was probably one of the best ones, and then I'd say Deep Blue Sea and maybe The Shallows. Other than that, we've just been getting crap. You get a realistic looking shark, and that's half your battle for a shark movie. The other half is don't write a shitty script. So if there's anything good to come out of this movie, it's the concept. I hope someone steals the idea of having an island resort surrounded by water and a shark in it. You know, maybe skip the whole like prehistoric bone coming out of its head and the toxic water. That's just dumb. Maybe find another way to make zombies on the island. That's kind of cool. But you gotta put it all together with better writing and better dialogue and characters that actually make sense and actually belong in this movie. So where does this movie belong on the rating system?
Into the pit with those bloodthirsty sons of war!
No!
And as always, thanks for watching.